Okay, so welcome on Daily Current Affair with Europedia, and I'm going to tell you some important news for 2nd of July. After India and China tussle on border, India banned some applications, mobile applications of China, like TikTok and all, cam scanner, and these kind of some apps were banned. In next to that, China government of India has even banned some Chinese companies from road project. Let's see what is the news. And US is happy with the decision of government of India that banning apps is good. New security law was brought in Hong Kong by China, and under this new law implementation, I think it was recently implemented. Under this new law of implementation, the first arrest has been made in Hong Kong under this new law. Now India's recovery rate of COVID-19 has shot up to 60%. It has gone up there. And National Investigation Agency, what is that? We will discuss that also. It has made some arrest in 2019 Pulwama attack case, in which some CRPF people were killed. So that is there. Russian President Vladimir Putin record a resounding victory in the referendum conducted for presidential poll. So he has reinstated himself as a president till 2036. Okay, before I go for the news, let me first discuss with you what is the situation of corona cases in the world. Now, the situation of corona cases is US is heading forward, that is 26 lakh, followed by Brazil 14 lakh, followed by Russia 6.5 lakh, and very close India is chasing 5.85 lakh, and United Kingdom seems to have controlled. So these five nations, US, Brazil, Russia, and India, these four countries are not looking like getting balanced. So this is the main trouble there of these particular corona cases. And overall in the world, more than 1 crore people are affected, and more than 5 lakh people have died. As far as India is concerned, Maharashtra, as we know, is the main state, followed by Maharashtra, then followed by Delhi, almost 87,000, and then Tamil Nadu is shot up, increased from Delhi immediately. Now second number by Tamil Nadu has come up, and then followed by Gujarat 32,000, then Uttar Pradesh 23,000. So India mein these are the cases as of now. Let's go to now each of the news. Now Chinese firms are barred from road projects. So now government of India already banned some 59 applications, Chinese based applications. Maximum Indian viewers were Share IT, and then TikTok, UC Browser, they are the main companies. This is called coercive diplomacy, to send strong message that Beijing should basically come to the point, and they should not create any trouble on the border with India. Now, after that, Indian government has even stopped the Chinese companies from participating in highway project. These projects, there was some joint venture activities going on with Chinese. So, government of India is preventing that also. Now, Chinese investors cannot basically invest in micro, small, medium enterprises. MSME full form is micro, small, medium enterprises. So Chinese investors are stopped from investing into that. This entire information was given by Union Minister for Road Transport and Highway and MSME, Nitin Gadkari, has given this entire information. Now, qualification norms for project are being changed again, so that Chinese are not allowed to go for this. This is the second step the government of India has taken. And even some telecom companies, Department of Telecom has also decided to bar Chinese firms from this particular thing. So Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Information and Technology, has also basically banned, other than these 59 applications, also banned them from some other domains also. And US is very happy. US says that ban of 59 applications with Chinese link is good, and US Secretary of State, something like a Home Minister in India. So US Secretary of State says that it is a good decision, and US Secretary of State is Mike Pompeo. So he has welcomed the move. He said it is good, and India's ban on certain applications is good. and it is basically Chinese Communist Party. China only has one political party, that is Chinese Communist Party, and Chinese Communist Party is making China as a surveillance state. That means they are trying to get the data from everywhere through their companies, through their satellites, and that is against the sovereignty, integrity, and security of particular nation. So China is a threat to the nations, and when India banned these applications based China based these applications, that is something which good for sovereignty and integrity of the country. Now, this move of Government of India was seen as a retaliatory step after the border issue which came up, in which some soldiers of India died. Now, some telecom companies have also done the same thing, and they are preventing the Chinese vendors from going for some kind of bidding. So, this after banning of 59 mobile applications of China, now new departments and now new trade rules are being set up, where China is being prevented from doing trade with India. Recently, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, has even quit the Chinese social media platform Weibo, and that is a strong message by Prime Minister Modi that not only on the basically economic front, but even personal front, I am against China. Okay, now let's go for the next news that is related to Hong Kong. And China came out with a new security law in Hong Kong. It was China's central government. Chinese Communist Party is running the government in China. So they came out with a new security law for Hong Kong. Normally the laws are made by Hong Kong for them, but now this law was made by Chinese for them, and this is against the autonomy of Hong Kong. Hong Kong is supposed to have some autonomous territory. It is supposed to be autonomous or semi-autonomous territory, but as per this law, security law, their independence is hampered. So China says that any secessionist, subversive, and terrorist activities is supposed to be illegal. I mean, anybody who is trying to make to say that Hong Kong is not part of China, or is trying to support the cause of Tibetan or Xinjiang province or Taiwanese. So China has issues in all these areas. So anybody who is trying to take side against China in these domains, that is supposed to be anti-national. Any person who is taking the part in secessionist activities such as shouting slogans, holding banners and flags, urging the city's independence, that is a violation of the law, and it will be dealt strongly. So maximum punishment is for the life imprisonment, and there's a jail up to 3 years for some lesser crimes. So there are some crimes, and against that there are some kind of basically punishments for that. Okay, now this legal system which they are trying to establish, that will spoil the autonomy of Hong Kong. British left Hong Kong in 1997, and they left Hong Kong in with China, saying that it will be one country, two system. One country, that means it will be China only, but there will be two systems, and Hong Kong will get greater degree of autonomy. But with pass of time, China tried to take back that autonomy from Hong Kong people, and they started protesting. Now there is a protest going on in Hong Kong against China, and other than Hong Kong, there is a protest in Tibet, Xinjiang province in China, where Uyghur Muslim community, China is against Uyghur Muslim community and trying to force this community also, and trying to convert that into mainland China communities, something like that. So that is also the issue. So China is having issue in Tibet autonomous region, in Xinjiang province, and in Taiwan also, along with Hong Kong. So these are some issues which are there. The president of China, Xi Jinping, he's a lifetime president there, and he is making these laws. He has made these laws for Hong Kong also. Recently, US is highly against what China is doing in Hong Kong, and US Trump administration has said that it will bar any kind of defense export to Hong Kong. And the People Liberation Army, the Chinese army is called People Liberation Army, and it owes the allegiance or loyalty to Chinese Communist Party of China. So China, there is only one Communist Party. The Chinese army is basically loyal to this Communist Party, and the president is for lifetime. So this is how you cannot expect there is a democracy in China. There is no democracy in China. The good news is India's recovery rate, COVID में recovery rate has become 60% now. Presently it is 60.73%. That simply means that now more testing is being done, and better recovery is the result of early detection of the cases and given medicine being provided to the patients. So prevention, containment and management, because of that we can get better recovery rate now. So test, trace, treat. These are the three things. Test the people, trace if they have COVID, and then give the treatment to them. Because of this, now better recovery rate you can expect in COVID cases. Now let's go for next news. That is, NIA has arrested another Pulwama attack accused. Pulwama attack, as you know, in which 40 CRPF people they got martyred or they died in IED blast in 2019. Just before the election, there was Pulwama attack in on the this bus of CRPF people, and 40 CRPF people died in that. Now this fellow knew Muhammad Iqbal Rathar. He's arrested in this same case, and it looks like he's he helped the Jaish-e-Muhammad terrorists. So Pulwama attack responsibility was taken by Jaish-e-Muhammad, and this was the attack in which CRPF people died, and a new person has been arrested in this particular case. Now the question here comes is, what is this NIA? What is the meaning of NIA? Let me tell you, NIA full form is National Investigation Agency, and this is basically the agency created to fight the terror in India, and it was created after 26/11 terror attack in Mumbai. You know, Mumbai mein there were attacks in 2008. Sorry, there was attack 26/11. Attacks were there in Mumbai, after which government realized that this particular terrorism cannot be controlled by any other enforcement agency. So we require dedicated terror crime related agency. I mean the agency which could handle the crimes related to terror, like CBI's investigation agencies, and there are intelligence agencies, there are police system, there is an army. But what about terror handling agency? So there was no terror handling agency. So it came into existence after a National Investigation Agency Act was passed by Parliament in 2008. So which was passed after this attack in Mumbai, right? So this main purpose of this is finding that basically any kind of terror threat to India, and find out some kind of people who are going to create these kind of issues. So this this particular NIA, National Investigation Agency Act, gives some kind of powers to this particular body, which can lead to some investigations even without the permission of state governments. So if you know, for investigation, otherwise police department is under state government, NIA is kept under Union Home Ministry. So if some terror link is to be established, then NIA can directly go to the states and investigate that and make some kind of arrest also. So police are under state governments, but NIA is under the Union Home Ministry, so they can investigate these kind of issues. Now last news is President Putin has declared himself as a president till 2036. He has got 2 more terms of 6 years each. Once his tenure ends in 2024. So first he could change the parliament, both houses of the parliament, and then there is a constitutional basically board there in Russia which also passed it, and then as a president he signed it, and then he went for referendum. Referendum means plebiscite. That means he asked the people of the country also whether they allow this, whether he can be in power or not. So Russian went to ballot, cast their ballots, and national-wise referendum was done on this constitutional amendment, and Putin could get a thumping, resounding victory. So now Putin will be president of Russia till 2036. So Putin will be president till 2036, and the Russian president is for lifetime. So I don't know. This can become the basically discussion topic, whether the executives, chief executives, should be imposed on some country for lifetime. Like in US, you know, president is only for 4 years. In India, prime minister is for 5 years. So should there be imposition of the presidents for lifetime. That is the question open for the debate. Maybe we can go for the debates for that. So these are the couple of news I discussed with you. Just go through this and remember these are the important news, and just revise them. I hope you must be getting the PDFs and keep revising these news. Thank you.